Hey guys, what's going on? Sir-lionhart here with a different kind of video for you guys today. And pretty much, I just woke up. I was about to get ready to record some Tokyo Mirage sessions, and then I realized I didn't have my capture setup going. I couldn't record footage because I didn't have anything set up. And I was like, you know what? To kill two birds with one stone, I'm going to set this up while recording a video of myself just explaining what kind of setup that I use to record my footage. Over the past couple of years, some people have been asking me, how do you record your footage? What equipment do you use? I just don't understand what you use to record your equipment. So this video is basically just going to go over what I use and how I pretty much record my footage. So let's get to it. So pretty much this right here, what I'm pointing at right now, is the Elgato Game Capture HD60. It's what I use to pretty much record anything that has an HDMI output. So like, let's say Wii U has an HDMI output, I use that. Anything that has an HDMI output pretty much goes through here, and we pretty much record it. This is the best game capture device I probably had. My other game captures were the HD PVR and the HD PVR2. Both of those did work well. It's just, this is definitely the best. It records at a higher quality, records at 60 frames per second, and then there's just so many more options that you can actually control the quality with the Elgato HD60. It's pretty well, and it's been getting the job done. It's been getting the job done on this channel for I think the past 8 months, and I don't think I'm going to change anytime soon unless I have problems with it. But anyway, what we want to move on to now is the HDMI converter. This is pretty much the first converter. This is where all the cords are pretty much going to be based from. So as you can see, it's a smaller HDMI converter. I have two HDMI converters, but I'll talk about this one later. This one is primarily going to be the base. So we plug the console in here first. It has one input for HDMI, and then it outputs into two different sound formats. And then this also outputs one video line. So we would basically output one video, the sound, both of these outputs would go to this HDMI converter, and then the analog sound right here, the white and red outputs you see right there are going to be used for pretty much sending sound to my headphones. And how do I get sound from this to my headphones? Basically, there's a converter. It's an RCA converter that pretty much, I wouldn't say converter, but an RCA adapter that pretty much has a red and white jack, and then it basically converts into a 3.5 millimeter female jack for like headphones. So just to give you guys a quick example, I'm actually gonna show it to you really quick. So just to basically show you guys what the RCA adapter would look like, it's something like this. And basically you would just plug this in right here, boom, boom, and then you can just basically just have any old earbuds or headphones go straight in, jack into this, and then you can get the sound directly from the console, which is really good. And the primary use of this is to prevent echoing when you're recording live commentary, because if you have a mic and you record it and you're recording commentary live, and you had the game audio coming through the TV speakers, the mic would pick up on the TV speaker sound, and then at the same time you would actually be recording directly from the Elgato, or you would actually be capturing the sound directly from the game. So if you were to go into editing or just go into the video that you produce, it would actually just have that echo, and that's exactly what I'm trying to avoid when recording. When I first started out, I didn't even realize that the echoing existed. I just thought it wouldn't exist if I synchronized the video with the game commentary audio perfectly, but it still happened. If you were to go back to my old videos, you would just see it, or you would just hear it. But pretty much This right here, you don't really need it if you do post-game commentary. So in reality, you probably wouldn't even need this box, but I use it so I can get sound directly to my headphones and output this to the HDMI converter here, and then the optical sound, which is this input right here, the SPDIF, which is, I think, is Sony Philips digital interface format. Well, I'm just going to call it the optical cable output. So pretty much that's it for this. That's what we're going to be using this for, pretty much, is just to get sound to our headphones while outputting sound to the other HDMI converter as well as the video. And something specific about this, we're going to be using an HDMI to DVI cable to this, because this doesn't have an HDMI input. So we're going to need to use an DVI, because it has a DVI input and not an HD or HDMI. So just to show you off the next converter box, we're going to go ahead and just look at it. It's a Monoprice HDMI converter. Pretty much converts DVI and audio to HDMI. But basically, I think it said, it says that right there. And what we want to do is pretty much carry the optical cable and the HDMI cable, HDMI to DVI cable. We want to both take these two outputs from here and then input them in here, DVI and then optical cable. And then basically when we put those two in there, it's going to put both of the sound and the video together through the HDMI, which is going to be really good. And the main reason for using this HDMI converter is to strip HDCP. And pretty much HDCP on PS3 and PlayStation Vita kind of prevent you from recording game footage. It was mainly intended, to prevent you from recording, like, I guess you can say, let's say if you were to go on PSN network and rent a movie for like $3, you could record it, the full movie, and keep it forever after one rental, So that's why HDCP was, invented. I'm not trying to say you can use this way to, kind of rent movies and keep them forever if you have a game capture or a video capture device. But I'm saying you kind of can. But yeah, I mean, this pretty much is going to help us strip the HDCP from PS3 and PlayStation Vita. So if you have any PS3 games you need to record, this setup works really well, because you can't really record PS3 through HDMI. You can record it through component cables, but if you were to put an HDMI cable and try to just plug it directly into your game capture, it wouldn't work because it has HDCP. The PS4 has it as well, but there's an option in the settings to just turn off the HDCP protection. So that's pretty much what this thing is going to be used for, just to strip the HDCP. And just to show off the Elgato really quick, it's pretty simple. Just an HDMI output or input, and then one HDMI output, and then the power. It's one of the coolest things about the Elgato HD60 is it doesn't require like another power brick. It doesn't require a power cable. You just plug it into your computer and it powers up and you're good to go. Just pretty much input your console and then output it to your TV and you're just ready to go. You don't need no unnecessary power brick in the just plugged up to it, which is really nice. So I really like it. It's probably my favorite game capture device so far. Like, once again, I know I said it earlier, but I really like it, and I highly recommend it, because I've used HD PVR with this setup and HD PVR2 with this setup. It works nicely, but it doesn't record as crisp as the Elgato here. So the next thing I want to do here is pretty much show the setup just working, and we pretty much just have all the cables going through. I just want to show that. So just give me a few minutes here and I'll set everything up, and then I'll just show you how it looks like when it's all set up. So after about, I want to say, 5 or 6 minutes of setting up everything. We are here. We have all the cables connected to where they're supposed to be going, and I just want to go over step by step how it looks. So again, from the first part, we're looking at the smaller converter. As you can see, there's an HDMI cable going into the input that's coming all the way down from the Wii U. So the Wii U is pretty much the console connected, and as you can tell, it's a different color than most of the HDMI cables. It's grayish, and the reason why I chose to use a gray, silverish HDMI cable is to indicate, oh, where is what console's plugged into the converter right now. So it's basically to distinguish this HDMI from the other HDMI, so I can tell, like, okay, where's the HDMI cable for the console that I'm recording right now. So basically, anytime I want to go ahead and switch up the consoles, like I don't want to record Wii U today, maybe like some PS4 footage, I would actually just come from the back of the console, take it, and plug it into the PS4, the invisible PS4 that I'm pointing at right now. And because the invisible PS4 is not connected right now, just take it from the Wii U, plug it into the PS4. But you know, obviously that's not the case right now because it's in the Wii U, and I don't have my PS4 in here to actually show you. But anyway, yeah, that's gonna work. You got the power cable in. Obviously, it comes with this converter, and then of course you got the HDMI cable. This is a unique HDMI cable. It's Blu-ray, and basically what this is, it's an HDMI to DVI cable, and pretty much we're gonna need that to go into the next converter box because it doesn't have an HDMI input like I explained earlier, and we actually need the DVI to strip the HDCP, and pretty much we're gonna need to, because DVI doesn't carry over sound, it may be connected through HDMI, but DVI doesn't really carry over sound, so we'll definitely need this next cable, which is the Toslink, or you can say optical cable. And pretty much we're gonna just put these two in right here and run them to the top, which is this HDMI converter. Boom boom, they're both in, and they're both in this side, and then basically they mix together into one signal. They go straight into this HDMI cable that I'm touching right now. So the sound and the video are being sent to this cord, and that cord right there is being taken all the way over here to the HD60, and the HD60 is sending that signal to the monitor right here to this. It's a little bit messy right now because I'm just trying to show like how it looks, but I'm gonna probably just run all these cords behind the monitors, of course. But right now, just for tutorial purposes, just to show you guys, yeah, this cord is going into here, this monitor on the back. And right now, the only other thing I can probably show you is completely optional stuff. As I mentioned earlier, this is an RCA adapter. I use this to pretty much run the sound directly to my headphones while I'm recording, because I do live commentary, like I said earlier. I don't want the sound from the TV being picked up on the mic, so I decided to get some headphones. The end of this cable looks like this. So basically, it's this right here. This cable, sorry for the swaying camera. So the end of the RCA cable looks like this. And you just pretty much just do this. It's this easy. Bam, just snap it together, and now you got sound going to your headphones or your earbuds. You can even use earbuds, but I primarily use some surround sound headphones. They're Logitech headphones. They work pretty well, especially when they go through an amp. So right now, this cable right here that connected to the RCA adapter is actually this thing right here. So as you can see, it's an excuse me, it's an Earforce PX22 Turtle Beach amp. It allows you to control much more of the sound and the volume. So you can control the bass, the treble, the volume. You can even get fancy and add like more sound. Like you can add your phone sound, music sound. It's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, this, I didn't buy this separately. I actually bought a pair of Turtle Beaches about a couple years ago, but because they were so ass, they broke. So I had to get these babies. I had to get these G430s, which is a Logitech brand, and of course, like, this amp came with it, but the amp is pretty sturdy and it still works. It works pretty well. I don't know. You can buy amps separately, but this works pretty well for me. I had got the Turtle Beaches. I don't know the brand of them, but they broke pretty quick. They broke in under 6 months. I didn't like it, how cheap and plastic it was. Like, it was pretty bad, but this amp works pretty well. It's not even really necessary, but I use it because it helps me pretty much control the bass, the treble, and it's really good for like games that have really good sound design. Like, if you got like surround sound, you'll notice immediately the difference. Like, when I went from like earbuds to like a surround sound headset, it was absolutely it was just a world changing event to me, though. I was like, why does it sound so good? It sounded so crisp, man, I'm telling you. But anyway, yeah, the amp really helps. I like having a lot of bass. I love my bass. And that's pretty much, I think, the last thing I can really show you when it comes up to the physical setup. The next thing I actually want to show is pretty much, I guess, the actual software to the Elgato HD60. And I guess I'll go ahead and pull that up on my computer, and I'll see you guys in a few seconds. Alrighty guys, so here we are. This is pretty much the last cog to the clockwork, as you can see. This is my Blue Yeti microphone. This is what I've been using for the past 4 years I think at this point, to record my commentary. It's a USB, microphone. So basically you just plug in a USB, plug it into your computer, which is right there, and then it's as simple as that. But the software I use to record my commentary, I use Audacity. I'm going to pull that up on my computer right now. Boom. As you can see, I use Audacity, and here we go. We come over here, bam, hit record. Audacity, you can just download online. Just Google Audacity and it works, and you'll just find the link to download Audacity. But pretty much this is what I use. I just hit record to show you the wavelength. I'm gonna stop talking for a second just to prove to you. Boom. Yeah, there we go. So I use Audacity to record my commentary. I record it separately from the game audio, so I have more control over, this quality, the sound quality. Let's say if somebody came in here screaming and stuff, I'd be able to edit that out, without having to edit out footage, without having to edit out the video. Because if somebody came in here screaming and shit, and I was recording both the audio and the commentary together, most likely if I wanted to get rid of the sound, I would actually have to get rid of some of the footage as well. So if there was a cut scene going on and somebody came here yelling, in order for me to cut out the yelling, I would actually have to cut out the part of the cutscene as well. So you would actually see like a jump skip in the video itself. So that's why that's why I prefer to record my audio track separately from the commentary, so I can just have more control over what is happening. And when I go into editing, I can just cut out whatever I don't want in there. Let's say if I say some insensitive ass joke, I can censor myself. That's right, I censor myself a lot, dude. I censor myself a lot because, well, I ain't gonna go into the reasoning right now. Just know that this helps a lot. Recording a separate audio track, let me tell you that. But anyway, yeah, this is the microphone that I use to record my audio commentary. It's the Blue Yeti. You can get it on Amazon. I think I got it for like $120 at the time, like 3 years ago. I'm unsure, so I'll leave a link in the description to pretty much just have you guys check out the prices for each of the devices that I use in this video, or pretty much that I use to record my gameplay and my audio and whatnot. But pretty much, yeah, this is what I use the pop filter. I don't have a pop filter stand, so I just decided to wrap it around the microphone itself. So if you're asking like, why don't you have a pop filter stand? Because I don't have one, and I've been using it like this for like the last 3 years. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, that's that, and I think I want to show you the Game Capture HD software, and then we'll call it a day. Alrighty folks, so we are here on my desktop. I am booting up the Game Capture HD 60 software. This software you actually download from the Elgato site, from elgato.com gaming, or elgato.com/gaming/download, and you download the software there. They actually, it's very cool because they actually go ahead and update all the drivers, all the things about the software, which is pretty cool. So you can go there and constantly be downloading different versions of the software, which is nice. They update the software. You know, they care about the product, they care about the consumers, so it's pretty cool. Another reason why I kind of recommend the Elgato. But anyway, enough talk about where to get it. What I just want to talk about now is just what settings I change for the Game Capture itself. So the only thing I really change around, I don't really mess with any of this. The only thing I really mess with is the quality settings. And the cool thing about the quality settings here is the fact that you can record a higher megabit rate per second, which is pretty cool, which is good, and it pretty much determines how smooth your video is going to come out. So if you record at like, let's say that's probably like around 10 or something, I'm going to see. But let's say if you record at a lower bit rate and it's during a high action scene, it would actually get pretty blurry. I wouldn't say blurry, but it would get pixely, it would turn blocky, it would just not be nice, you know. So right now we're at 17.5 megabits per second, huh? That's actually still pretty higher than the HD PVR. When I used the HD PVR, the highest it could go was 14 megabits per second, I believe. And even at the highest setting, even at the highest rate, the down PVR just still, the footage from that just still came out blocky and pixelated. So I'm very grateful to have the Elgato HD 60 now. So what I normally record at is like at least 30 megabits per second, which is very lovely to have. It comes out pretty smooth. The biggest, I guess, negative about this is the fact that it'll eat up a lot more space. So as you can see, we're at 31.5 megabits now, and it's 14.3 gigabytes an hour. Boy, but hey, that quality though, the quality will come out pretty good. All right, you're sacrificing space for higher quality, and then if you were to pretty much want to save space, you would actually be sacrificing quality for more data space on your computer. But in my opinion, for me, I'm all about the quality. I like having really good high quality videos, gameplay footage. So I like to record around 30 megabits per second. So that's pretty much the only thing that I changed around. Almost everything else is like default settings. I don't really stream from OBS, so I can't really talk about like the live streaming function, but you're capable of live streaming. I use OBS to live stream personally because I feel like it's more capable and there's more flexibility with it. And then the game audio here, you can actually change the game audio, boom, 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 to 100, the full blast, all the way to 0. But I just leave that at 71. It's the sweet spot for me, 71. It doesn't really change like the speakers. It doesn't change the audio on your speakers or your headphones. It just is actually just affecting like what the PC is hearing. The game audio right here is only affecting what the PC is hearing. Live commentary, like I stated earlier, I don't really like recording my audio commentary along with the game's audio, simply due to the fact I have more flexibility to edit out what I want and what I don't want, you know, in the video itself. Like when it comes to audio interruptions, like if somebody came in here banging on pots and pans, I can edit that out separately if I were to record it through a different program like Audacity, like I showed earlier. And Audacity is really good for just recording game commentary, in my opinion. So yeah, I just record that separately. I don't really need to have that tab. And when you're making videos, you can actually title the video, title the game you're playing, and then, you know, change the tags on it and even the description, which is pretty nice. But pretty much that's all I really wanted to show you guys. This, like, once you got everything set, once you got everything ready to go, everything set up, you can just hit the record button right here. You can start recording. Bam. It's pretty easy. It's so easy. It's so intuitive. If you guys were to just be interested in like recording it yourselves, it's pretty easy to understand. I think the hardest part about like capturing game, you know, footage is just the physical setup, I guess, because you need to worry about HDCP. You need to have like converters just to have certain consoles work and whatnot. I think that's like the hardest part to do, but I think I explained all that in this video pretty decently. I explained a good amount of what you need to know before, you know, capturing your own software or capturing your own gameplay footage and whatnot. I think I genuinely went over most of what I do to record my gameplay and just showed my setup during this entire video. So I think we're pretty much done with this video. If you have any questions or comments about it, just be sure to leave something down in the comment section, and I'll be sure to try my best to respond to your questions and comments. But at this moment, I'm hungry as hell. I really wanted to record some Tokyo Mirage sessions, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and eat something, and then I'm gonna get right into some more gameplay for you guys and then have it up later this week. But I really wanted to just show to you guys the game capture setup, and just wanted to really just get that out of the way for the people who've been asking for years about what equipment I use and how I record. Hopefully that answers that pretty well. If it didn't, please just go ahead and leave a comment or question below, and I'll see you guys later.